All right, guys. Thank you for joining me once again. Appreciate it. Listen, guys. I have to say this. I got to thank you for a lot of you guys that support this channel. I was realizing something just now, looking at a lot of you guys who follow me on both channels. So you guys are essentially cutting out almost 2 hours of your night just to listen to me fucking rant and rave. Dan Phillips, thank you for the 5x5. Jaleesa, thank you for the 5x5. I appreciate it. I don't know. It just dawned on me. I'm looking at it. I'm like, I said, yo, an hour and a half of listening to this fucking asshole talk, But you guys are fucking doing it. So again, I appreciate it. Thank you guys, as always. Um, yeah, rant on. Yeah, listen. I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, because I look at other live streams and I'm like, all right, certain live streams. I'm not going to say which channels. But some channels I don't want to watch, but I watch it to support it, right? And other channels, and a lot of the times I'm in the cut. I don't, hey guys, I'm here. I don't do that bullshit. But when you watch the live streams, you're like, all right, it's cool. But you guys are spending almost 2 hours with me, anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours. I think that's interesting to me. That's very interesting to me. Could I put that kind of dedication to a channel? A couple, but I don't know. I just find it very, very cool. If that makes sense. Duckman Yan said you helped me go on a diet. Which, by the way, guys, the Angry Prepper Fitness channel is back up and running. I think my most important video on the Angry Prepper Fitness channel, which I'll be releasing later this week, is going to talk about how to get yourself started with working out. To full disclosure, a lot of my information, guys, are coming from other studies, other YouTubers that are giving me the knowledge to look for those studies so I can read it for myself. And then other studies, other motivational parts of that video are coming from books that I'm currently reading. But I'm mashing them all together, and that's where the idea of losing weight's coming from, because I took a lot of those ideologies to apply it to my weight loss and my new way of thinking, because to lose weight, you have to change your mindset. Adriana, what link can I put up? Yeah, so you have to change your mindset to diet, right? You can't go, you know what, man? You know what? Starting Monday, I'm gonna. No, you can't do that. You gotta fucking jump in it, and you gotta And when you jump in it, it's a little bit at a time. It's like sticking your toe in the water and then moving up the ladder to your whole body going in. But your mindset's the first thing that gotta change. You have to sit there and tell yourself, I want to lose weight. I want to be 123 pounds by or I am 123 pounds by March 15th, which is a little too close, but you get my point. You got to you got to tell yourself that's what you are and the deadline. You change your fucking life by changing your mindset. Hold on. Adriana, yeah, give me a second. I got to find it. Because, like an idiot, I don't save this shit. I know I should, but I don't. I know I put it. Here it is. I was like, where the fuck is it? There it is. Alright, guys, I'm dropping it in the chat. The Angry Prepper Fitness channel. For those that are interested. Not everybody. Oh, Blue Vandal beat me to it. Blue Vandal put it in. And I'm backing him up. So, yeah. Cali Prepper, no. I didn't. I make sure I don't do that on live streams. Because then they'll never let that down. Oh, boy. It was like a long fucking day, and I did one workout today. So I've been doing 3 workouts a day, and I do 3 workouts a day for 5 days, and 2 days I do 1 workout that day. And workouts consist of walking, HIIT, and then resistance training. And nonetheless, and to boot, I'm eating way less now, and I don't eat till around 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoons. My first meal. My last meal is around 6 or 7, and I'm done for the day. I've been looking on a scale. I'm like, holy shit, man, I'm dropping. Cali Prepper, yes, this chair. It's this leather chair that's fucking peeling every time I sit. So every time I look at the floor, I'm like, what's this black shit on the floor? And it's the cheap leather that my it's not a real leather chair. I found out the hard way. The skin peels like a sunburn. It's fucking bad. But anyway, yeah, guys, change your mindset, change your direction in life, right? And then getting up early in the morning. I know a lot of people are like, you got to get up at 5 in the morning. I was like, no, man, go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. I said, I'll get up at like 6, 6:30, 7 o'clock, right? I'm back to getting up at roughly 7 o'clock now, 7:30. I was getting up at 6:30 for a couple of weeks, and then I went on vacation, not vacation, but I went out somewhere and I fell off. So I'm trying to get back to that. Now, to get up early, guys, that means you have to go to bed early. Right, like tonight, I'll be going to bed late, so I'll be getting up probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock. But on days that I go to bed early, I'm in the room by 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock, lights out. Right, so trying to change my habits a little bit at a time to get to my end goal. And yes, Adriana, men do lose weight faster. That's a gift. Lose your weight at the dinner table. Joe FW, you lose your weight at both, right? So yes, if you want to keep tone and keep in shape, you got to go to the gym. Can you drop weight by dropping calories or eating less? Absolutely. But you still want to have some kind of a man body, right? You don't want to be like an amoeba body that lost weight. That's terrible. Adriana says she gets up at 4:30 in the morning. I don't get that 4:30. And I don't know how you get up at 4:30 in the morning when it's 10 o'clock now. Like, I'd be in bed right now. I'd be knocked out if I was getting up at 4:30. Like, I'm going over to Prepper Nurses One place in a couple days. Or rather, I'm leaving tomorrow. Sorry. So I'm leaving tomorrow, probably in the afternoon to get there. And yeah, I got to figure out a workout plan while I'm out there. So one of the workout plans is hiking his land, and the second one is doing the workout in the cold, which I don't want to do, but I have to. I'm going to look up the carnivore diet because I am interested in that. But the diet I'm on right now, it's working out. I'm just eating less. I'm what is that called? Macro. Counting my macros. Right? So that works. Anyway, let's get to the fuck. I'm sorry. Completely deviated from what the hell we were supposed to talk about. But tonight, we're going to talk about real quick, and we won't be on too long. Yeah, we won't be on too long. Which I'm curious. Yeah, so we won't be on too long. Oh, she goes, trust me, I'm going to bed after we're done. All right, yeah, so I'll make this quick. Not too quick. Intermittent fasting is what I've been doing. Yes, Carol Cook. Yes, Carol Cook. I've been doing that as well. But anyway, enough of that bullshit. Let's talk about what we came here to fucking talk about. So, are they doing this on purpose, guys? Now, this is in reference to everything that's going on with all of these chemical spills, toxic water being accidentally released into waterways. Is this being done on purpose? Now, some people will sit there and go, well, the media is hyper-focused on what's going on, and this happens all the time. Doesn't change the fact that we are destroying our land and our drinking water. Doesn't change that fact, right? So now Indian Point. Indian Point is looking to dump 1 million gallons of radioactive water into the Hudson River. Now, a lot of that radioactive water, they said, is low-level radiation. But here's the kicker, guys. It's low-level radiation, but they want to dump 1 million gallons into the Hudson River. Normally, what they do with this radioactive water is they dump it in small batches by 18,000 gallons per dump. And that was the normal way they used to do it. But now they want to dump 1 million gallons at one time. I don't care how less radiation or little radiation has in it. 1 million gallons is a lot of radioactive water, right? And that's a bad thing. So now, with that, guys, there was another. Somebody sent me, and I forget the fucking what you call it. There's another radioactive facility or nuclear power plant that's doing the same thing. I think it's in Maine or Massachusetts. They're dumping an absorbent amount of radioactive water into the waterways as well. So now you got radioactive water being dumped into the water. You have toxic chemicals being leached into the land, which is making its way to groundwater, which is also making its way to the wells of certain areas. Toxic water is also hitting waterways, which are leaking into bigger bodies of water. And you have this absorbent amount of chemical spills all over the United States over the last 2 years. Now, we're sitting here thinking, well, it's just a little bit. It didn't matter. It'll go away. But now they got forever chemicals. Forever chemicals have been around since the 90s. That stuff is leaching into our water. The shit's leaching into the rainwater. Rainwater is picking up the toxic chemicals in the sky, or rain clouds picking up the toxic chemicals in the sky, putting this water back down on us, and this water is contaminated. So are they doing this on purpose? Are they going out of their way to restrict the amount of land that we can farm on, to restrict the amount of land that we can have livestock on, and putting us in this fucking bubble eventually, closing everything in and around us, killing the trees, killing the soil, killing the small animals, even the animals you hunt, right? Supposedly the Ohio incident, animals from about 100 miles away are dying and or getting sick from the water, right? So little socialism, yes, 15-minute cities. They want us to go into 15-minute cities. I think that's the gist of it. So now, guys, contaminated water could just naturally and safely decay in storage sites. Now, this is the problem with this water dump, this 1 million gallons of water dump. If I'm not mistaken, Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival brought this to my attention. But they're about to dump 1 million gallons, and they have 4 ways of getting rid of radioactive water. One way is small batch dumps, 18,000 gallons, which is like, I don't know, 10 minutes of the water being on and dumped into the river, which is still bad. All right. Step 2, or option 2, slowly evaporate radioactive water into the atmosphere and release into the atmosphere, which they say is not a good thing either. That's option 2. Option 3, procedure entails of transporting contaminated substance to another state, which could pose an environmental justice issue depending on where it lands. Now, all of a sudden, these assholes getting rid of radioactive water are worried about environmental justice issues. All right, the 4th one, which makes the most sense, the 4th option. This option would be leaving radioactive water on site to decay over time in non-harmful helium and or barrels. The 4th option sounds like the best option, and somehow they're like, fuck it, dudes. Let's just dump 1 million gallons at one time in the water. That's the direction you're going? You have 4 options. The evaporation in the air, that's not the best option, but that's better than dumping 1 million gallons of radioactive water. Then you have the other option of shipping it somewhere else, which I don't know why you would ship it anywhere else. But all right, fine. You ship it somewhere else. Now all of a sudden you're worried about fucking environmental justice idiots? But the 4th option being the safest out of all the options, they don't want to go with that one. Putting it in a barrel or in helium containers and letting it decay over time. I don't get that. I don't know what non-harmful helium is, but nonetheless, that sounds like a safer option. And that is the safer option, according to one of the guys who was arguing with the owners of Indian Point. So Indian Point's privately owned. The guy who was discussing how they can get rid of this told them the 4th option is the best option. But the 4th option is going to cost them money. Whereas the first option, dumping it into the Hudson River, cost them nothing. And they don't have to notify the state that they're doing this. They were, according to the owner of Indian Point, this is a courtesy. They dump radioactive water into the Hudson River and other rivers that house nuclear Power plants, they don't have to let, because it's a federal rule, regulation. They don't have to notify them. They could just dump it. But they do give the courtesy call to the town, to the mayor, whoever's running the town, that, hey, man, we're going to dump this amount of water into this river. And they also notify neighboring towns and cities when they do this. So obviously, guys, New York City's also being notified of this. Jersey's being notified of this as well. Depends on which way the water flows when they dump it. Nonetheless, it's still a problem. Yes, Adriana, they used to drop them in barrels and bury them in the ground. Then the barrels would fucking rust and the water would leak out and it would leak into the ground. So they stopped doing that. I think they started putting them in plastic barrels, and I think there was the same problem, or the plastic was decaying under the ground or something crazy like that, and it was also deteriorating, and they were having chemical leaks. Now they figured out a better way how to do this. But yes, Falcon 1, you're right. No water will be safe to drink in the very near future. If not, we're already there. But in the near future, we absolutely won't have drinking water. Oh, shit. Well, oops, they're definitely going to affect the air, right? So, now, this is the director, Pat O'Brien. He says, you're taking hundreds of truck trips using fossil fuel, thousands of miles to then either liquefy discharge, or evaporate, or mix and bury that water in the same manner you could do here. So this is Patrick O'Brien. This is the guy that came up with the fourth solution, or the fourth option of putting it in a non-harmful helium and letting it decay naturally. He's saying that you guys all of a sudden want to use fossil fuels and thousands of miles. Now, I don't know why they would transport it when he said they could do that here and let it decay here. And he's saying that you guys are opening up the grounds, or opening up the a lawsuit by traveling this shit and letting it spill somewhere. Now, the crazy shit is, they're worried about this being an environmental problem if they ship it somewhere else, but let's dump it into the Hudson River. Doesn't make any sense, man. Hey, Vision, let me know how that goes. When you have the, or when you get the results to the water testing, let me know how it goes. Berengen 1, shalom. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, yeah, guys, they have to be doing this on purpose, right? I mean, like the Ohio East Palestine shit, lighting that thing up and letting that shit go into the atmosphere. It's like it was like double duty, that fucking event. They poison the water and then they poison the sky, right? And that shit just doesn't evaporate in the sky. Just because it's in the air and we don't see it does not mean we're not breathing it in, right? And especially the amount of that shit that was going in the air, it was fucking a lot, man. It was a lot. But I think like the rest of you, they're doing this shit on purpose to put us in a fucking 15-minute city, which a lot of us are not going to be invited to, by the way. A lot of us are going to miss that party. They're going to sit there and go, well, you're not able to get into this 15-minute city because you're an asshole. I'm like, you know what? I am an asshole. My God, I can't get into a 15-minute city. I'm going to cry myself to sleep. Says no one fucking ever. But they're going to create a society, they're going to create a problem so bad that you're going to long for a 15-minute city. Some of us will, some of us won't. Some of us will be like, yo, I'm not going to a 15-minute city. I'd rather take my fucking chances. Yes, Hunger Games, exactly. You know, that's exactly where we're headed to. It's like, oh, you guys want to live here? You're going to have to compete, kill each other, you know? And fucking whatever that fucking lady said at the beginning of that shit. Chances forever will never make it. Whatever the fuck that saying was. Adriana, we definitely will create our own city. You know, I mean, I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime, but our kids will see it in their lifetime. They'll see some fucked up shit like that. 15-minute city is Logan's Run. Jason, yes, you're right about that. Yeah, I never even thought about that until you just said it. Very good. Sleeper cells. Well, 15-minute cities would be Sky City. I forgot who was working on that. There was somebody a year or two ago was talking about working on the first Sky City. I'm like, you know what it would take to launch an area that big into the sky? Like the amount of fucking power it would take, and then to keep it up there. Prep Rebel, listen, I know a lot of you are not going to 15-minute cities, but just keep this in mind. A lot of us said we weren't going to take the arm ticket, and we did, because we were forced to take it. So, 15-minute cities. Blue Vandal, it might have been Dubai. It might have been somebody in Dubai that yes, little socialism. Yeah, Saudi Arabia, Dubai. It was in one of those areas they were talking about it. But anyway, guys, I definitely see people folding. Because listen, they're going to create a problem so bad, so terrible, so horrifying. 15-minute cities are going to be a safe haven for a lot of people who are untrained to the bullshit, who fall for the bullshit. That's what they're going to do. Like I said, I don't think they're going to do this in our lifetime, but they will absolutely do this. You know, we won't see it, but our kids or our grandkids will see it. I don't know how to pronounce your name, Jesse, but I don't know anything about Trump talking about freedom cities. So I don't have an opinion on it, but I will look it up. I'll definitely look into it. But if it sounds like what I think it sounds like, yeah, it could be a good thing. I don't know, but we shall see. Anyway, guys, I promised I would keep this short. We are at the 22-minute mark, 2 minutes over. Yes, we're gonna end this tonight. Tomorrow I might do a quick midweek report, but probably early, like around 9 o'clock or so. I have an interview at 10, and then I'm going to hit the road around 11, 12 o'clock to head out to Ohio. All right, guys, so listen, other than that, thank you for the donations. Again, thank you for following me and dealing with me and listening to my bullshit. I will see a lot of you guys. Probably, I might do a live stream in in West Virginia. I might do a live stream in West Virginia on Thursday night. Might. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys. If not, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.